Today we celebrate a doctor of the church, St. Peter Chrysologus, who lived in the late 300s, 4th century, and into the 5th century. And he has this word, Chrysologus, which means golden worded, and it kind of speaks to who he was, because you might have heard another Chris, St. John Chrysostom, who was the golden mouth, and very famous in the eastern part of our church. And St. Peter Chrysologus kind of found himself mediating between these early problems between the east and the western parts of the church, between Rome and Constantinople. And he was the bishop of Ravenna, which is on the Adriatic side of Italy, and it was kind of Byzantine, if you will, even though it was in the western side. It was the most Constantinople part of Italy, if you will. And he was known as a great preacher. He was known as someone who was very concise and very clear, and someone who just really spoke with eloquence. And we're leading up to like 451, the Council of Chalcedon, in which there were people that were monophystes, specifically around Constantinople. There were theologians and bishops that were saying that Christ didn't have two natures, but his human and divine nature were mixed. Of course, we believe that Christ is fully God and fully man, that one person has completely both of those two natures, but this is early in the church. They were figuring these things out. And that was what was declared by Rome in 451 in the Council of Chalcedon. And there's some beautiful letters where St. Peter Chrysologus is explaining to some of the bishops of the eastern part of the church, why it is that we believe what we believe. But more importantly, it was along the lines of teaching, hey, Rome is first. So get in line with the Peter and his successor. Otherwise, you're missing the boat completely. So another great example early on of just sort of seeing that primacy of Peter, but also someone who spoke the truth with charity and with the gifts that God gave him. So St. Peter Chrysologus, pray for us.